Hello there, welcome back. Let's talk about client server versus peer-to-peer. So let's talk about client server. So first of all, we have a client computer application which will access various resources and services provided by a server. So first of all, client will make a request to a server and the server will process the request, and finally the results of the request are sent back to the client. So you can just think of it like this way. Client make a request to the server do some processing, and finally the result is actually sent back from the server back to the client. So the server name is usually named after the application it performs. Definitely we have different type of server. So let's look at some of the different type of server. So first of all, we have file server. File server actually means that all software and users data files are actually stored on this server. Then we have domain controller server. So this is the management of user accounts such as IDs and passwords. So client will send log-on request to a server, and the server will process the request and grant access to the user if the ID and password are being recognized. Next will be email server. So this basically means that it sends, receive and store emails. And then we have print server, which do the management of print jobs from a network client's computers. Then we have database server. So this actually provides a database management system, which is DBMS. So we will cover this DBMS in the later chapters. Then we have web server, which is the management of pages from the company's website. So these are all the server that we normally have in terms of the client server. So now let's look at peer-to-peer. So if we look at the picture on the right here, so this is how peer-to-peer work, whereby each of the computers actually connected to each other. So for example, all computers are of equal status and can communicate with each other. So as you can see from the diagram on the right, then each computer will provide access to resources and data, which means that the data is actually distributed among all the servers. Then each computer is responsible for its own security. So in a nutshell, it means that all computers which are peers are able to both act as a client, which means receiving files from another peer, and as a server, which is providing files to other peers. So let's look at the benefits and drawbacks of client server. So first of all, what are the benefits of client server? So first of all, you can have different servers that provide wide range of services as we've shown on the previous slides. Then we can do central storage and management of all the files and documents. You can do central management of security to admin user account. And the drawback is initial setup cost for the server and the client workstation will be high. So the initial setup in general will be a bit higher compared to peer-to-peer. The next will be the server-based network requires the use of a specialized network system. So the next will be if the server fails, all the users will be affected. So if you look at the picture on the right here, if this server fails, it means that all the clients will not be able to access all the services provided by the server. So let's look at the benefits and drawbacks of peer-to-peer. So let's look at the benefits first. So first of all, there is no dedicated server required compared to client server. Additional computers can join the P2P network easily. For example, you can just add a node into this P2P easily. And each computer can act as both a provider and a receiver of resources. Now let's look at the drawbacks. So there's no central management of security. For example, each computer is at risk of viruses from other computer. For example, this computer here can just send virus to the other computer here easily. Then there's no central management of backup. It means that if data from one computer is not backed up, it will be lost forever once it is lost. For example, let's say you store a file in this peer. Once it is lost, it's going to be gone forever. The next will be no central management of files or software. For example, each computer may have different software from others. For example, maybe this computer here, they have like software version 2, and this is software version 10, and this is software version 9. So they are not having the same version of software. So these are differences between client server and peer-to-peer. If you are interested to learn more about computer science knowledge, definitely just subscribe to the channel. Or if you are taking Cambridge A-Level Computer Science, definitely check out my full online course at www.hagrin.school or from the link below. Thank you, and I will see you again then. Bye bye.